Joseph Peaty from Osley in Coventry joins me from London because you're down there for this parliamentary debate. You heard what Geoffrey Robinson had to say, and I did say it was shameful. It wasn't an attack on Geoffrey Robinson, it's just me saying I think it is shameful. 25 years, when frankly this should have been resolved at the time, Joseph.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you've got to remember, we've gone through substantial times of plenty in the last 25 years. We've seen a property boom, massive amounts of income from increased stamp duty on housing, and under Labour, we had the 3G mobile licence sell-off, in which they raised over £25 billion. They've had the means. What has been lacking for this last 25 years has been the will to sort this out.
Joseph, how many haemophiliacs in the United Kingdom do you think have been affected by having these drugs which were contaminated with hepatitis C and HIV?
Right. Overall, I mean, this is just a round figure. It was around about 4,800 that have been affected by this. And I've got to say, of those, around half of those have died now. There's around about 2,700 that are actually survivors today, and of those 2,700, they're going through some horrendous things. It's incredibly traumatic living with HIV and hepatitis C.
What effect does it, I mean, and I don't want this to sound like a crass question, and I really don't mean it to be, but I know that you're a wheelchair user now. Is that more to do with the fact that you had this transfusion which was contaminated rather than your haemophilia?
Yeah, I mean, you will find each person has their own story in the way that it's affected them uniquely. For me, I hit an illness, a point where my immune system was collapsing and I was on the borderline of full-blown AIDS. And my body turned on itself. It started attacking my joints in a kind of an arthritis type of fashion. And literally within a matter of a few weeks, I went from working and being pretty active considering my condition and driving to being completely bedbound, in need of regular community care, personal care. I couldn't sit up, feed myself, look after myself at all. All
down to getting this what you thought was going to be a medication that was going to help you, and in fact just exacerbated, made everything much, much worse. But what strikes me, Joseph, is that you sound remarkably sort of sanguine and calm about it all. I think if it was me, I'd have this raging anger that, you know, A, this has happened, and B, I've had to wait 25 years to get any kind of action.
Yeah, don't be mistaken. Just because I'm able to keep calm, I am
you are very angry,
incredibly angry,
and quite rightly so.
Yeah, I mean, to have to wait for 25 years for this to get what we believe that the new coalition government are doing. They are actually beginning to acknowledge this situation and the fact that it hasn't been dealt with adequately. We're still awaiting, as Geoffrey has just said, that we haven't had an apology to this date. And
so nobody has ever said, oops, sorry, we got it terribly wrong, we didn't do the right thing, the protocols weren't in place. I mean, it's been called the worst treatment disaster in the existence of the NHS.
Absolutely, and it is. I mean, it dwarfs many other disasters, both within the UK, if you look at us specifically, but on a global scale, there's almost been nothing like this, because there were phenomenal amounts of people involved.
So, best possible outcome for you in the debate today would be positive support in favour of those affected, an apology, and presumably some kind of compensation for what you've been through.
Yeah, I think what's crucial to come from this, and I don't imagine, I'm not unrealistic. I don't necessarily think we'll get everything that is being asked for. We do have some substantial economic problems at this moment. But, yeah, if this government, this coalition government, are willing to take on the unfairness of the things that have been done by previous administrations, and with that I'm thinking specifically of hepatitis C patients who are dying, have had multiple liver transplants, and are living with very debilitating diseases, fatigue, which is, I mean, it's not like just feeling a bit tired when you get up in the morning. This is the sort of fatigue where you're so tired, you want to close your eyes, and you actually think you're never going to get to open them again afterwards.
What's the worst possible outcome, Joseph? That they perhaps consider the financial situation they're currently in and say they can't afford to do anything?
The worst possible outcome would be that they are exactly the same in their approach as every other government, and that they actually go backwards on their promises, because when they were in opposition, both David Cameron and Nick Clegg have opposed the Labour government in their lack of correcting this problem. And, I mean, in fact, it even appeared in the Liberal Democrat party manifesto prior to the election.
That they would do something to help.
That they would they want to do something. So it would be terrible to see them go back on those assurances.
It would be shameful Mark II, wouldn't it, really? We've already had shameful Mark I. Joseph, we're going to, if we may, I'll catch up with you tomorrow to see how you've got on today. What time do you think the debate will get underway?
The debate today will, it's scheduled for sort of 10:30, but it will probably get underway around about midday or maybe just after.
And you'll be in Westminster.
And I'll be in Westminster, and hopefully we'll see them voting in support of us, and we will see some of the hepatitis C unfairness corrected, and then as the economic position allows, we will see them address the compensation issue too.
Quite rightly so. Joseph Peaty from Olseley in Coventry, thank you very much indeed. We'll chat with you tomorrow on the programme. But shameful, I think it is the word that describes that. 25 years he's had to wait. Let's hope they have a positive outcome today.